to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you. And we've got Ashton and we've got John. Hi.
What's up, man?
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Hey, bro, you too. I know the day just started, but how's it going out there so far?
Uh, I got a little anxiety because of parking and trying to get here on time, but guess what? We're here now. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. It's time to start decompressing now because I feel that.
He didn't even mention anxiety about his show tonight.
Oh, that's the easy part.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the easy part. Parking sucks compared to jamming out.
Yeah, I know, dude. Fuck parking. Anyways,
Parking. So you're originally from Atlanta. What made you come to Nashville?
just because I produce and write a lot of records for a living, and this is where the industry is. And so Atlanta had kind of hit my ceiling. I love it, but yeah, dude, my band that I was in, everybody was up here. It just felt like the right move. This is the place to be if you're going to work in the music industry.
That's exactly what I'm seeing. We were talking to the other band. It's like the LA of the '80s. It's like everybody moved here, and it's just like exploding. Why do you think that is? Why do you think everybody's coming to Nashville and just?
I think the industry moved here first because of taxes and things. A lot of people are exiting California, maybe for political reasons or, I don't know exactly. But here you're in a red state, and I'm not getting political. I'm just guessing.
No.
You're in a red state, but you have a blue city, so you have kind of like the best of both worlds: tax breaks, but you have all the cool artistic things.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. And it's a great hub to be out of, and there's so much talent here. You know those places like Sedona where all the hippies go to?
Yeah.
This is like that for music. There's like an energy here, and yeah, I dig it a bit. It's a cool spot to be.
So you were chosen to open for Motley Crue and Def Leppard on the stadium tour. Then COVID happened. How did you deal with that? I mean, that's got to be heartbreaking.
I would equate it to, like, let's say you're in the UFC and Dana White signs you, and you got your first big fight scheduled, and so you have a year to train for it, and you pump yourself up, and you're doing everything you can do to go out there, and then all of that energy, you're just locked in the house. So mentally and emotionally, it was one of the hardest things I've had to go through. And I try to be a cowboy, but it whooped my ass. Because it lasted over 2 years.
No shit.
It's like, oh, this will be 2 months.
Yeah.
Because I had the Airborne tour first. I don't know if you're a fan of Airborne from Australia.
Yeah.
Then I had the stadium tour. Then I was working on some even bigger tours, and I was like, life is finally, because I've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
I've been working for over 10 years in other bands, and I was like, I'm finally going to be actualized. I'm going to get like a break. And it just felt like everything was coming to fruition.
Yeah.
But life takes you in weird places, man. So it might have been for the better. I learned a lot of lessons and grew as a human being. And, I'm not the only one that has horror stories from COVID.
Right.
Like, people lost their houses and businesses.
Yeah.
And it was just bad. And I was just one of the other casualties. So.
Yeah.
But, you got to move forward in life.
Yeah. But getting that phone call, how did you react to that? Yeah. It's just like,
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, my adrenaline goes up when I think about it. Like Motley Crue's manager signed me, Alan Kovac, and he was a great believer in the kind of music I was doing. And not a lot of people are doing the stuff I was doing. And he goes, look, we're not going to release your record until we get a big tour, a shed-sized tour or something. And I waited for a year and nothing happened. And I remember right before Christmas, before the summer, I was at 2020, 19, he called me and goes, hey,
I have a little something.
You're gonna get. My manager was on the phone with him through it. He goes, how would you feel if you were walking off stage while Joan Jett's walking on? I'm like, oh, you guys got me a Joan Jett tour? They're like, oh yeah. And then Poison will go on, and then Motley, and then Def Leppard. You're gonna get the stadium tour. And if I was cried more, I would have definitely cried. I mean, it's a big deal for me.
Yeah. Holy cow.
And 2 years later, you're sitting on your couch.
Eating bonbons and Cheetos. Oh my goodness.
As they say, shit happens.
So what elements do you believe makes a good song?
That's a deep question. You know, there's going to be some of the technical things, like a groove, a great melody, chord structure, but then there's some stuff that money can't buy. That's going to be a vibe that the person or the band plays. It's something that you can't quantify. It's like a magic. I would say a lyric that rings true. Even if you're singing a surface level lyric, but it really means something to you, that's all that fucking matters to me. So I would say integrity and soul combined with like a great ear for melody. And you know, look, the Stooges could have a great song, or the most technical metal band too, and everything in between. And that's the beauty of all of this. You have a chance to bring your vibe to the table.
Yeah, well, you definitely know how to write a song because when I hadn't heard of you until this came up, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna maybe hit up the Tuck Smith show, and Tracy was like, oh, you got to go. He is amazing. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll dig a little bit deeper. And I started listening to your stuff, and she was working at home, and I was like, Christy, you've got to check out Tuck.
Did we get the approval?
Yes.
Okay. The ladies' approval is the only thing that fucking matters.
I was like, holy shit, this is so good. So good.
Cool, thank you.
I mean, the melodies, the lyrics, it's got everything. That's why I thought that question was going to be
Thank you,
perfect for
man.
you.
Look, dude, I still consider myself, I would say, a humble student to the art of songwriting. It's one of the most difficult things, and it's took me years to like even be able to like kind of figure it out. It is a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
It's a mountain. And to me, I gravitated to that more than anything. Like I was like, I'm never going to be a virtuoso guitar player. I really am not that strong of a singer. Fuck it. I bet you I could write songs. Just because my life has just been kind of, you know, wild and shit, so I have experience. And that's what I gravitated towards, man. So that's all I want to do, write great songs.
It was amazing.
Thank you, man.
Usually I listen to like one or two songs to get a feel, but I started just like, oh, I got to hear the next one.
Is he buttering me up, guys? Is he buttering me up?
I mean,
I agree with him 100%.
Hey, Randy.
Here with my old band.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's where we're from.
I love Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
What was the venue there? It was next to a record store. It was kind of a DIY.
It was probably at that time. It's called 89th Street now. It was Ashton. What was 89th Street called before? Oh my God!
I've only known it as 89th.
It's like a punk venue. Yeah, a record store next to it.
Shitty
Weird part of
neighborhood,
town.
Yes.
Yeah, I played there twice.
Yes.
rough, yeah.
Oh, I can't remember what it was called before because it's been 89th Street for so long.
Yeah.
We were talking to Crowbot.
Oh, cool.
Crowbot was there, and he said, "Where can we walk to go eat?" We said, "Nowhere. You do not want to walk in this neighborhood."
Gotta drive.
No.
So that's that place.
It's a cool venue.
Yeah, we were going down to see Gemini Syndrome, and we're driving down the road, and I look out, and we're like, is that Brian, the drummer? He should not be walking. I don't know where he's going, but we need to keep an eye
We
on
were trying to
him.
get a slice of pizza, dude. Trying to get-
So, unbeknownst to him, we were kind of keeping an eye on him. As soon as we got there, we're like, okay, he's coming back. We're just like, Brian, don't do that.
You're little Oklahoma City guardian angels. I like it. I like it. I like it.
John Ashton?
Yeah, I have a question for you, Chuck.
Observatory. There it is. That was the venue to play in Oklahoma City.
What you got, John?
Chuck, I had a question for you. Between writing, producing, and performing, what do you find is the most challenging and what's the most rewarding to you?
I think writing for myself. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think writing my songs are the most difficult. I feel like working with other artists because I'm not so close. Writing with them is, it's like the muse comes into the room and like we can write stuff in 15 minutes, and it's very fulfilling. But yeah, writing for me is the challenging because look, you're your own worst critic, right? But I love doing it all, man. It's really fulfilling to work with other bands and because when I was coming up, a lot of people helped me and taught me, and so if I get to work with younger artists and stuff, it just feels like good karma, you know.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you can see it, sure, but I think you would love it.
Oh Lord.
It's an original.
I'm surprised you weren't ready on that one, John.
I couldn't see it very well. I'm sorry. But
as you can see in the background, he's got.
Who is Kiss? Never heard of that.
That is hilarious.
that's gonna happen all day.
Tokyo. You made it out to Tokyo as well, right?
Really want to know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like how it came to happen for me to go over there was like just this weird kind of, somebody saw a video on YouTube, they liked it, they were from Japan, they hit my manager up and said, hey, can I try to get this signed? They're like, sure, whatever. The next thing you know, it's like, oh, Sony Japan wants it. You know, like a major label would never sign a guy like me here in the States, fucking in a million years. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's cool. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to bring you over this year. I'm like, okay, cool. I would love to go to Japan. That's amazing. And I didn't see any of the analytics from streaming that people gave a shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have the best time over here.
Right.
I'm going to make the best of it.
Absolutely.
And we'll probably play for like 50 to 100 people, and it'll be great. And the night before, I'm taking the trash out, and cooking dinner. The next day, I go to Tokyo. And when I get to the hotel, there's fucking rabid fans outside of the hotel. I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is weird.
Awesome.
Then I do press all day, and they're like, oh, yeah, your album is like, rock fans love it over here. It's won all these awards. And here's a stack of magazines you're in. I'm like, okay. And then we get to the show. It's like an 800-cap venue. It's rabid. They know every single word of the album that came out 30 days before. I did it in-store Tower Records. I signed probably 200 fucking autographs. I had no idea I was like a C-tier, low-level rock star over there. It was a fucking surprise, dude.
Wow.
It was amazing. Yet so humbling and so grateful because, you know, here I've been hacking out in the States forever, you know, like doing the dive bars, and to go over there and like people like, it was just nice. It was beautiful.
That's awesome. Yeah, I started getting into some of the videos that you had.
And then I'm back home taking the trash out.
How do you feel like your music has evolved over the years? Do you have a different writing? If you go back and look at what you did 10 years ago and then look at it now and go, what was I thinking then?
Oh, yeah. If an artist can't look back on their old work and cringe, they're not doing it right. You need to look back and go, oh, what was I thinking? You know, with age comes wisdom, I think, a little bit. And I was not naturally talented at music at all. I was horrible, tone deaf, couldn't play. I've worked really, really hard, read a lot of books, did a lot of studying, put my 10,000 hours in, and still learning.
Yeah.
So, you know, the writing and everything is very sacred to me. It's not a joke because I've worked so hard at it. And I respect songwriters. And, you know, even like some of the stuff I don't listen to, let's say like some pop or whatever, that shit, even though I don't do it, it's really hard to write. That formula and to be with 3 minutes at the chorus, it's like cooking the most beautiful meal with 3 ingredients. You know?
Yeah.
So I have respect for everybody who kind of does that with the art. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, that's all I've got for you.
You have great
Do you
energy,
have
my friend.
anything else?
You have great energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're like a damn Oklahoma City Buddha. And for good luck.
I feel like
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you, and I'll see you tonight.
Nice meeting you.